It's season 3 of the Darius Owen Show. It's season 3 of the Darius Owen Show, where the tea gets spilled and the truth unfolds. Darius don't play, he tells it how it is. Celebrity news, and you know he won't miss. Now here is your host, Darius Owens.
Come on. Yeah. I'm back after 4 months of no content. Here I am. Welcome to today's show. I am so excited to be back. I had this sexy outfit on. I told my cousin Paris, I said, yeah, I have a sexy outfit planned. I am so excited to spill the tea, and guess what? I even have a story to tell about my cousin Paris later. But anyways, let's get started with the hot tea. Come on.
Always blunt and honest, you already know. No sugarcoating, I let it flow. I spill the tea.
Hey, and I'm finally back, and I know a whole lot of people were like, Darius, where have you been? And I even seen some comments, they were like, where have you been, Darius? Well, let me tell you, I was just tired, and I was trying to get graduation and all that stuff out of the way, and I wanted to be a teenager, and I wanted to enjoy some of my summer and hang out and a lot of that stuff. But anyways, I'm back, and let's get into this hot tea. So first of all, I want to talk about that new Madea movie that I'm sure we've all seen. And I watched this Madea movie with my family at like the same day it came out. I'm like, this Madea is not the same Madea that we know from 10 or 12 years ago. This Madea was rushed, the makeup was off, the hair was off, and then one of the scenes, like at the end when Tyler Perry passed out from all the money and stuff being spent, that wasn't even Tyler Perry on the floor. That was a whole nother act. That was a whole nother actor laying on the floor. And when I watched the movie, I didn't even realize that. But you know how people post on TikTok and Instagram, they're like, look at this, or did you notice this during the movie? I didn't even notice it during the movie, but once I watched this stuff on TikTok, I was like, wow, this movie was really a damn fail. But Tyler Perry, you failed on this movie, but that one movie, Straw, Tyler Perry, I haven't even filmed since the movie Straw came out. Straw kept me hooked, and you know I'm a big Desperate Housewives fan now, so I've been watching shows, and a lot of movies don't keep me hooked like they used to, but that movie Straw, I was like this the whole time, just all into the movie, but they had Taraji acting a damn fool. But anyways, moving on. So apparently Beyonce's music was stolen in Atlanta, so apparently they were at Atlanta, and their Jeep was broken into, and I'm like, who cares about this? Beyonce is not the Beyonce that she used to be. She's not 2001, 2002 young anymore. I think Beyonce, it's time for you to give up, because the last time that we heard something big about Beyonce was when her car was leaning like this and she almost fell out. But I know someone's car that leans like that. That's a little red car. They live right up the road, I think. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Beyonce, I think you need to give it up, because I think it's, what's that girl's name? I think it's like Doja or Duasia or something like that. But she wrote that song, Nissan Altima. I'm sure a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. But I think it's her time, Doja Cat, which I haven't heard about in a long time, and SZA. That's whose turns it is now, and Billie Eilish and people like that. Beyonce, you need to just go ahead and give it up, and when you do have concerts, just sing the old songs, because you know what happened when you tried that country music, Beyonce. You know your country music kind of sucked. So the new country song that I like now, where them fans at? Where them, come on Jackie, where them fans at? Boom, 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 boom. Anyways, Wendy Williams' birthday was on Friday, and she was out, and I'm so excited to see Wendy out, because you know Wendy has not been out in a long time. We haven't seen Wendy in a long time, but she was out for her birthday, and Brendan and Suzanne were with her, and if you don't know who that is, they used to be producers on the Wendy Williams show, and then Wendy was with her niece and her fiance. They looked great. Wendy looked sexy. Wendy looked young. Wendy looked like Wendy, and that lady that's been keeping Wendy locked up, fuck you, because Wendy's great. She doesn't have the dementia like you said. This is all you're doing. You just wanted to take Wendy's money, and the one wish that Wendy says she wants for her birthday is to be out of guardianship. But take a look at her.
Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Make a wish, Wendy. Here we go.
Doesn't Wendy look great? I mean, Wendy's having fun. She's clapping. She's eating the cheesecake. She's saying, thank you, thank you. This is the Wendy that we know, and y'all wanted to make us believe that she had dementia. to the things that people say to get money. Anyways, this man, Noah Candace, or whatever his name is, fans have been showing up to his parents' house because apparently they want to see where the singer grew up. And I'm like, okay, I know this is overdoing it, and they didn't have an invite or anything. They're just driving up and taking pictures and videos. But you know, they do this to Michael Jackson's house. The house that Michael grew up when he was younger, they go up to his house and take pictures and stuff. And I know that people are saying this is like stalkish and stuff, but you know, I've done some things like this myself. I've drove up to people's houses to be nosy and look. I've drove all the way, I don't want to talk about where I went, but I've drove to a certain place and I drive real slow by their house because, you know, me and this certain person, we've had a past. But yeah, and then me and my cousin Paris, we even followed someone home one day. And this lady, I've been talking to her for a long time, and she told us the road she lived down, but her tires on her car were always dirty. So we drove down the road before we followed her home. We drove down the road, we were trying to find her driveway and stuff. We were like, there's no driveway that would make her tires look like that. So one day, me and my cousin, I didn't drive my car because, mind you, this lady, she knows my car very well because we had the same exact car. That's why I talked to her. But turns out she knows my entire family. But anyways, me and my cousin Paris, we followed her home. And this lady, she lives way at the end of that road. We followed her home and she pulled in the driveway and I was like, oh, that's where she lives. That's why her tires are always like that. When I say the driveway is pure dirt, I mean just dirt. And when we passed by her driveway, I left the seat back like this. Couldn't even see the road because I didn't want her to know it was me. But anyways, fans are folding after Paris Jackson posted this topless pic while swimming with her fiance. Now, Paris looks great in my opinion, but do y'all really think this is Michael Jackson's daughter? Because I know a whole lot of people on TikTok and Instagram, they're like, you know damn well that's not Michael's daughter. And they say that about all his kids. And I feel like, honestly, personally, I don't think Michael had sex. I feel like he was so big in the industry and he was so busy with his life that he didn't have time for that. So I feel like he just adopted these kids and he was like, you know, these are my kids and yeah, I raised them and I had the sex with them. And by the way, do you think Lisa Marie Presley and Michael ever had sex? I can't see it. I don't think they ever did it, but you know, they might surprise me. But anyways, fans are worried about Kelly Clarkson, and I really don't care about her, but they're worried about her after she canceled her talk show, and she canceled a lot of her concerts. So basically, she canceled her talk show, then about a week or two later, she canceled like 3 or 4 of her concerts because, you know, when you think about Kelly Clarkson, which this is just me, but I don't think about her as a singer. I think about her being on TV replacing Steve Harvey. I'm like, okay. I don't know why they gave her that slot. But anyways, Kelly Clarkson, I really don't care about you. Your fans might care, but I personally don't. And I feel like if Kelly isn't telling us what's wrong, like this is why I'm such a big fan of Wendy Williams. Because, you know, when she got that Graves' disease, she told us. When she got that lymphedema right here in her legs, she told us. When she got the thyroid disease that makes her eyes like this, she told us all of that. And if Kelly isn't telling her fans what's going on, then I don't give a damn about what's going on either. And if she's dying on the side and she doesn't want to tell us what's going on when she's dead, I guess we'll know when they do the autopsy, but I really don't care. So this lady, Denise Richard, is accusing her ex-husband, Aaron Vipers, I think that's how you say his last name, of choking her and threatening her. Now she's filing a restraining order. Now I feel like when things like this happen, they're like, just pay him out or do the money. I feel like people think money can fix everything. I bet you if you give me some money, I bet you if you give me $1 million, I'll fix everything. But anyways, I feel like when things happen like this, people don't look at celebrities like they're normal people. Like celebrities can get abused like this and everything too. Celebrities are normal people just like us. They just have money. But you know, when women accuse their husbands of stuff like this, I feel like people don't take them serious. They're like, why are you accusing him of that? He didn't do all that. You're being so overdramatic. I feel like they do that to them because, you know, I've had experience of family stuff like that. They accuse the woman of being overdramatic and the husband, yeah. Anyways, so people, I gotta get close for this one. People are suspecting that Tyler Perry is gay. Now, Cat Williams said this a long time ago, and you know what? I'm not gonna say I agree, and I'm not gonna say I disagree, but Tyler Perry, you have had some ways about you when you go to the red carpet and stuff. Your wife could be with you, and you're like, you know, you hug her and stuff, but you're not really all into her like that. You look like you wanna be into her, but you're like, I don't want that. When she gets naked, you probably don't even get hard, Tyler Perry. You're just looking at her and like, oh, yeah, hey, sexy. I bet you if a man comes into your house and gets out the shower with Tyler Perry, you can be all up on him. Did you see those messages between Tyler Perry and that boy or that man? But those messages, they weren't even that bad to me. You know, the man said that the sexual assault claims or whatever like that because, you know, I have a friend, she said she got sexually assaulted. She was drunk. It was on New Year's. She said she got sexually assaulted. She told me and my cousin Paris when we were out the other day, and I had her tell me again. I said, what happened? She said, she sexually assaulted me. And you know, when I'm with certain people, I can't handle stuff like that. But anyways, Tyler Perry, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're not, you're not. But if you're happy, Tyler, I'm happy. But just do better on these movies and stuff, Tyler. So anyways, one of the most iconic late night shows is being canceled. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Now that that's being canceled, Jimmy Kimmel is going off on CBS and saying that they're disrespecting Stephen's legacy. And you know what? I have to agree with Jimmy because that show, Stephen Colbert, that show was a good show. You know, he had good ratings, he had good viewers, he had good fans. That show was not, look at the car going down the road. Or did it go this way or that way? I don't know which way it went. I just seen the little red truck go up the road in the monitor. But anyways, that show was good. I feel like they're just canceling it to be canceling it. Then CBS, you're going to be complaining because y'all are losing money because who's going to replace him? I know who can replace him. I don't do late night, but I can do daytime. But anyways, you know, I don't see why y'all cancel this show. Give the man his show back because there was no reason that y'all had to cancel this show. He had the good ratings. He had, you know, but that's just my opinion. So that CEO man, Andy Byron, has resigned from his position after his little public cheating scandal. Now, you know, you've all seen that video. They're up there cheating and stuff, and then the camera shoots to them, and they're like, look at these two. And they go, take a look.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Now, for one, I hope his wife gets half of everything because she stood by that man for a long time, and then you're going to go out there to the stadium and do what you did or wherever you were. You're going to go out there and do that and cheat on her. That lady stood by him for a long time. But anyways, hey, maybe he got tired of her or maybe they were having marriage issues, but that still's not, you know, just get a divorce. So this former Teen Mom star, Whitney Pervvis, I don't even know who this is, but she was arrested and now she's granted a $15,000 bond after being involved in manslaughter. Now, let her had been a normal person or a black person, there would not have been a $15,000 bond. If she was a normal person, you know, like usually when somebody's involved in manslaughter, you're in jail for life. Like R. Kelly, he didn't even manslaughter anybody, but the stuff that he did, he's in jail for life. Diddy's gonna be in jail for life. But when you kill someone, you're supposed to be in jail for life. But I feel like if you're killing someone, I feel like you should just go to the electric chair and just zap away because, you know, I wish I could do that to certain people, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. So there's this boat. It's so stupid to me, but there's this boat and it's named Hawk Tuah after that girl who made that up. And you know, people are getting famous for the wrong reasons now. Like Aunt D and Shay and Bria, they got famous for a good reason. You know, Aunt D, she's promoting in her business and she's showing how life with autism kids can be. I mean, Shay is 30 and Bria is 28, I think, and they have autism. And Aunt D, she just wants to put a spotlight on, you know, her life. But Aunt D, I feel like she got famous for the right reason. But you say Hawk Tuah and you get famous for that. How come all these people are getting famous, but I can't be famous? You know, I can be famous and stuff. I can do a little something, but yeah. Anyways, this 61-year-old man, he died after getting sucked into an MRI machine. Now, the man, he got sucked in there because he had a metal necklace or something on, and I was like, wow. But I feel like this is the hospital's fault, and I would say that the man could sue, but he's dead, so he can't really sue. But if his family doesn't sue the hospital, because when you go to have an MRI done, they're supposed to tell you if you have a necklace or a chain or earrings on, they're supposed to tell you to remove this, put it here, or put it in this box. If they didn't tell him that, whose fault is that? That's the hospital's fault. And I know people would say, well, he's stupid for not taking it off, but I wear this stuff right here. I wear this stuff every day. This metal thing right here, if I'm going to have an MRI, you don't think about that stuff. If I'm going to the hospital, I wouldn't even take this off. I would go in there and I would be dead. But hey, so Tracy Ross posted this video about, this is disgusting to me, Tracy, and for you to be a black woman like this is a damn shame. But she's posting about how she only takes 2 pairs of underwear when she goes on trips. Take a look first.
Hello. So I've been away for quite a while. I don't know, it's been like 2 weeks. And I have a couple of delicates that, you know, how much underwear can you bring on a trip? You know what I mean? So it's a hand washing day in Paris. Hand washing in Paris. And I'm gonna show you some of my hacks. So I did shower gel in the sink, and I alternate sinks because there's 2 sinks. So I do, first sink, I fill it like a washing machine, And I get in there, then I fill up the other sink with cold water, and one by one, I use a bar of soap and I wash each pair of underwear and each bra, old school style. Then I put it in the cold water sink and I let it rinse, and I let it sit for a bit. I let it sit for a bit on this one too, before I do each pair. And then I take it out of the rinse into this sink, also filled with cold water, and I rinse it under the cold water while it's filling up. Then I let that soak for a bit. And then I do what I'm doing now, which is wring them out. And then comes next. Stand by.
Tracy, that's disgusting. And I know people say money can't buy happiness, but I'm damn sure money can buy underwear. And all that money you have, you could have 100 pairs of underwear. I would rather you tell us that, oh my gosh, I take 100 pairs of underwear with us. I would rather for us to look crazy at you for that than saying you only take 2 pairs of underwear. And by the way, I had to do this one time, but it was only because I was too young to drive and I was staying at my mom's house and I was there for like 3 or 4 days and I went for, I don't know, I didn't have any underwear. So the underwear that I had on when I went, my mom was at work. I went in her room. She has this big that jacuzzi tub or whatever it is. She has that in her room. I went in there. I poured hot water in the tub. I poured a little Gain in there. I took my hands. I washed them just like that. But you know, I can afford to wash my clothes even if it's in the tub because, you know, I know someone that live up the road. They can't afford stuff like that. But anyways, you know, I've been off for the show for a long time, 4 months now, but I was at my cousin's house yesterday and they were at the beach all week last week. He bought this shock gum, and you know that gum you pull and it shocks you? He tried to have me try it. Take a look.
Hey, we got this new shock gum. My cousin got it when he was at the beach over the week. So I'm gonna try it and everybody else then try it. I'm just scared to do it. So let's go ahead and try the shock gum. I almost did it. You see, I almost did it. I didn't feel nothing though. I didn't feel it. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me.
You see how I said I felt it? I didn't feel anything. I was scared because when I had my aunt try it, I said, you do it. She did it. She jumped. I said, I can't do it. So I just couldn't do it. But anyways, since I've been on my break, I've also been hanging out with my cousin Paris. We've been together like every other day almost. And this is a picture of us that we took. We were coming out of Dick's Sporting Good. And it was about to storm. And we took a picture like this. We were imitating someone because, you know, this person, they take pictures like this and they have to sprinkle baby powder in their bed because they have bed bugs. But anyways, up next is Answer This Darius. And we'll be right back. So we're back with Answer This Darius, and the little green and blue and red orange cards that I usually use for this segment, I have no idea where they are, so I have to use my phone today. But anyways, so the first comment is from Moderator7169. By the way, I don't use any fake usernames or fake names or anything like that. These are actually these people's usernames that commented on them. Anyways, this one, Moderator7169, says, it's fake. It's a TV show. What the hell is wrong with you people? This is when I was talking about Kim Kardashian and everything getting married again. By the way, I didn't know it was fake. I just report what's on TMZ and everything. I just report what I know. So you knowing that it's fake, how do you know it's fake? Can you tell me how do you know, or are you just assuming? So the next one comes from TAS Confidential. Okay. This one says, being a shady person isn't a good look. Do better for yourself and platform. Let me tell you something. If I want to be shady, I'm going to be shady. If I want to talk about people, I'm going to talk about people. If I want to talk about my father who did nothing for me except help buy me a car and he thinks that's everything in the world out of 17, 18 years of my life, well, then that's what I'm going to do. But if you don't feel comfortable watching this Darius Will Talk YouTube channel, then click on something else. Watch Sherry Shepherd or something. The next one is from Cam Rider 567. This one says, you're weird. Well, don't be mad because I'm sexy and gorgeous and you're over there in a house with your roof caving in, because, you know, by the way, I know someone's roof caving in. They live up the road too and they have that same little red car. But this one is from Azavi Lastimata, or however you say this. This one says, this channel is council nominated and the host is yuck. Well, you see, I'm still running and grooving and filming and talking about people, so evidently it's not council nominated because I'm still going. What are you doing? I don't see anything on your channel. I went to your channel and guess how many subscribers you have? 3. Now who's council nominated? This one is, oh, that's all. Up next is Movie Pop. Don't go far. And we're back with Movie Pop, and look, I put on my E.T. and Michael hat because it makes me feel sexy. But anyways, today's movie is called The Home, and I already watched the trailer for this. Just take a look first.
Hey man, I'm not gonna hurt you.
What's going on?
You saw how clean this place was coming in?
Yes, sir.
Your job is to keep it that way.
And no 4th floor, darling. Those patients need special care. Off limits to you.
These are good people. They deserve comfort in their twilight years.
Here to get your garbage.
You know, you've got interesting eyes.
There's something very wrong with this place. Something terribly wrong.
Hey man, I'm not gonna hurt you.
It's time to play by the rules.
What's going on?
Sometimes, when things are bad on the outside, we have to look on the inside.
I'm going next week to see this movie, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, remember that like 4 months ago when I was on my show and I was like, yeah, me, Antoine, and Paris, I love you too and everything and all that, we were going to King's Dominion. Well, anyways, Antoine and Paris, they're broken up now because Paris was getting tired of Antoine, and Antoine was in love with Paris, but Paris was like, I don't want to be bothered, so Paris broke up with him, and Paris used her AI to break up with him, and she says I'm crazy for using my AI all the time, but anyways, she's happy, I guess. Well, she won't be getting any, but I guess she has a little side piece or whatever. But anyways, I like this head. I'm gonna take a picture. Anyways, we'll be right back. Well, that was today's show, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'm going to eat my bagel with eggs and cheese on it. I really don't feel like eating, but I've had so much caffeine, and when you have caffeine and you don't want to eat, but you feel like you have to eat, but yeah. So that's going to be my day. I work all week this week, so I'll be glad when Thursday comes at 2:30, but anyways, I love you for watching, and I'll see you next week on The Darius Owens Show. Bye!